Thank you so much for joining me on tonight's podcast. Of course, Dropping Jewels. I haven't been on here for a while, but I wanted to just go ahead and discuss a topic that I thought would be something to address, something that we tend to not really be mindful of, but let's talk about the nitty gritty of finances. And the topic is financial freedom within your reach? So let's go ahead and get into it. Are you financially ready for your success? Now, I know some people, I don't know, somehow argue that age defines success. And to me, I really don't think it does. I think it has to do with your individual growth and just waiting your turn. But in some cases, sometimes we are tired of living paycheck to paycheck and wondering if financial freedom is ever going to come around. So in this episode, I would like to explore the possibility of achieving financial freedom and what it takes to get there. From creating a budget that actually works to investing in your future. We'll discuss some steps that you may need to take to break free from financial stress and build a life of financial independence. Whether you're just starting out or already on the path to financial freedom, this episode hopefully will inspire and motivate you to take control of your finances and start building the life you've always dreamed of. I know sometimes there's so much focus on work from home jobs and independent contractor jobs and all those things that can be a tool for financial freedom. But sometimes, freedom is pretty much how we help ourselves overcome whatever obstacle that we're facing, right? So sometimes we get to the place of the uncertainty, not knowing what is to come. And so I just wanted to throw in some strategies and some tidbits that can be used to be able to discuss what and how financial freedom what it looks like, how we're able to go ahead and get those solutions to managing any debt, right? So let's talk about it. First, we have to set clear financial goals, how we define the short and long-term objectives, and create a roadmap to achieve them. So I think it's always good to just decide, okay, let's talk about your monthly expenses. Let's talk about separate monthly expenses from the major expense, which is your rent or your mortgage. It's always going to be higher than your monthly expenses. So you have to think about, okay, what makes sense? Sometimes I know we get into a situation where we are not aware that we could lose our job or something that we're unaware of. So it's just important to stick to a realistic budget. It's important to save the money that we earn. So what does that look like? Well, if you look at 12 months, meaning a year, look at what saving and its financial realistic aspect looks like. Avoid the common mistakes that people make. Feeling that, oh, I have this, so I'm going to dibble and dabble into this because I haven't. And sometimes, that may not be productive. Think of rules that apply to your personal life. Think of those rules. Think of those pillars of financial freedom. We have savings, we have spending, and we have security. And it's important that we improve that. There are some older individuals, and as far as age, that do not have the retirement funds or the financial freedom. They're still working at 78 years old. And that's scary. That's really scary. So we have to be able to focus on those common obstacles that people face when trying to achieve financial freedom: lack of savings, debt, and even financial literacy. See, we can, you can hear people tell you what you can do, but to be able to sit down and say, okay, I see where you're going. Let's try to help each other out. Let's make them a sense of accountability of certain things, right? So sometimes we have to illustrate how we can achieve financial freedom, how we can create emotional connection, right, with the reasons behind, how we move, and what, makes that wealth triangle develop, right? So we have, just comprising income generation, wealth preservation, and capital growth. Like, we have to make sure that we obtain all of those to be able to give us those, principles of freedom. So let's try to be able to reinforce the idea of financial freedom by actually finding things that are attainable with the right approach and the mindset. So I just encourage everyone to just look at what's in front of you, be realistic, look at those financial goals, and just listen to the personal financial tips that I spoke on. Hopefully those are strategies and tips that will get your mindset a little bit different, that'll help you budget, invest, and give you that financial freedom that you deserve. All right, thank you guys for listening. I hope I was able to give you some type of financial strategy and outcome of those challenging areas to obtain that financial freedom, because I know in today's society it is really difficult. The concept of financial freedom and why it matters, we may not be aware of, clear of, understanding of it, but hopefully as you listen to this podcast, it'll give you a sense of understanding and how you're able to break free from the financial stress and build a life of financial independence. All right, guys, remember I'm on all major listening platforms. That is iHeartRadio, that's Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, Spotify. Definitely subscribe. Stay tuned. Listen, because I love giving you guys content. I have had my gaps of time, so I have been posting, but I'm going to try to make it as frequent as I can, because life is life. But hopefully I can keep the audience, and hopefully I keep you guys engaged. And, I'm always open for co-hosts and guests and things like that. But I love speaking on things that are dear to my heart, and it could help those in the community. So until next time of a new episode, thank you for listening to Dropping Jewels podcast. And until next time, you guys have a good one.